This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
That's right. Welcome to Inside the Jaguar Nation. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Hahn with you here every Sunday night right here on Fox 44. And you got to experience your first Boombox Classic. How was it?
Oh, I'd never thought that the reality would exceed the expectation because everyone likes to hype it up. But it did. And the weather, it tried to kind of get in the way, a little bit of a delay there, but still.
But you brought us back a win, and that's all that matters in between the lines. What happened with the Jags last time?
We can talk about all the off-the-field stuff, and that was great. But on the field, it was even better. Like I said, a delay, over an hour, lightning and electricity issues. And, of course, you're going to see those two players there in just a little bit. But first drive of the game, Jackson State, you know, they're 0-6 coming into this game. But Terrell Kennedy buying time, wheeling and dealing, and he finds Jordan Williams. Jackson State on the board, 7-0, just like that. But the Jags, they would march right back down the field. And Austin Howard, he says he's feeling great. And he looks like he's feeling great there with the touchdown. But he comes up limping on that knee. But it's a tie ball game, 7-7, Brian.
Ooh, in the second, John Lampley, he has experience coming in. Look, it's always nice to be able to hand it off right there to number one on the field,
offense.
number one on your hearts, Mr. Danny Johnson. Then a fake field goal, up 4. Second quarter, they call for it. It works. Catalan takes it in for the touchdown, 21-10 Jags. They really grabbed hold at that point, and your star of the game right there, Herb Edwards, touchdown. That's going to do it as the Jags win 35-17. You talked to the head coach after the game.
All right, Morgan Beard here alongside Southern Jaguars head coach Dawson Odoms after his team's 35-17 victory over Jackson State. And, Coach, even before the teams got on the field, a little bit of odd circumstances with the lightning delay, the electricity delay, over an hour you guys had to wait. And in that first quarter, it was a tight battle. How much did that delay have an effect on you guys' early start?
Well, I don't know. Each team had the same amount of time. It's just concentrating on just our guys, man, making sure mentally we're where we're supposed to be to play a football game. And I thought we came out. We knew they was going to try something new on offense with the quarterback change, but I thought we adjusted and played very well. Got a tackle better. Still, that's the biggest thing that just that we didn't do well tonight, and we got to get better at it.
And a positive in the early going, quarterback Austin Howard leading the team down for that drive and getting that rushing touchdown. He left limping and was hobbled and was in and out all night long. You have an update on his injury status?
Oh, no, he's good. We rotate quarterbacks. We got a freshman that comes in and play, and, it's one of those things, man. We got to play 2 this year, but 7 played better. He played better. He made a great throw down there with the blitz in his face for a touchdown. So he's getting better. His timing is better. So, again, we understand what we got to do as a football team. Our job as coaches is to get this team to play consistent football.
And speaking of consistent, tonight, Herb Edwards in that rushing attack, over 150 yards for the senior and a couple scores as well. What'd you like seeing out of his play tonight?
Herb's getting better. Yeah. Still left some yards out there, missed some cuts, but overall, man, he's playing well for us, and he's making plays for us, and I can see the desire there. And again, he's one of those guys that's been in our program, waiting on his opportunity, and I'm happy for that the young man's having some success.
And last one, Coach, going forward, a very tightly contested SWAC right now. What's the mindset of the team? Without looking too far ahead, how do you guys handle going this season, knowing what you guys have to do?
Well, we play Pine Bluff next. That's it, man. We don't look no further. I mean, we understand, man. We just got to keep getting better. And if we do that, everything else will take care of itself.
All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate you joining us. You have a good one.
All right, so Southern gets the win.
Yes.
You bring home the win. You get your first Boombox Classic experience.
Yeah, give me all the credit.
Giving Morgan Beard all the credit here. Coach, though, didn't really want to hear about excuses as far as almost an hour and a half of delays, really.
Yeah, he says it affects both teams, and, they'll take a win in any way they can get it, but that doesn't mean they have to like it. And Coach Dawson Odoms, especially after the game.
He's a stickler.
Yeah, he didn't like the way it was done. Now, the stats show Southern taking this one no problem, allowing just 66 yards rushing to the Tigers, winning the total yardage battle 400 to 253. But, of course, that opening drive will stand out. Jackson State marching down the field in a hurry to take the early lead and really in the game all night long until Southern's very last touchdown. And they say you're supposed to throw out records in a rivalry game. We said it earlier. The 0-6, now 0-7 Tigers. But, hey, they brought it to Southern in ways they didn't even expect.
I feel like we played pretty good defense, but as Coach Odoms was telling us after the game, it's still those missed tackles. Like, those missed tackles hindered us a lot in this game, and we just got to come back next week and get better and better at tackling. It was a very physical game. Actually, my body's pretty banged up right now. We knew that they were going to come out and run the ball, but we didn't know they were going to run the ball as much as they did. And it put a toll on us, but we just got to finish the games, and that's what we did. But it was very physical.
Now, let's be honest, Southern was in control of this one outside of that first drive, and a big reason why. Herb Edwards and his 163 yards, moving the chains and controlling the clock all night long. And, of course, he was loving the camera a little bit. We're going to hear from him a little later in the show. He deserves that FaceTime, but the offense also taking another identity, digging deep into the playbook on a couple of occasions. First, that fake field goal right there, a successful one at that. And then the ultimate playmaker, Danny Johnson, seeing time on offense, executing the little 5-yard touchdown to perfection. Offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry getting creative on Saturday night, producing touchdowns when the Jags needed it.
Coach Barrett dialed it up. Coach Adams dialed a fake field goal up. So, we were successful on both. And, things just went in our favor on those two plays.
I didn't expect that. I knew we had it in, but I wasn't expecting to do both. But, getting around on that edge, Coach Barrett said it's going to be there at one time. So, in that time, it was there. And he called the perfect call at the right time.
And every week, we, of course, bring you the Human Jukebox right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. Getting a little rowdy. By the way, coming up, our one-on-one with the player of the game. Surprise, surprise, it's the running back. And we're going to talk more about his performance last night.
And, of course, the MVPs of the show, Garrett Ederson and Perry White, always bringing us great stuff from behind the scenes at Southern. That's coming up a little later in the show. Inside the Jaguar Nation. We'll be right back.
You're watching Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm, with Brian Holland, Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee.
That's right. Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation with you here every Sunday night. Fox 44. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Holland. And that Jaguar offensive backfield, number 21, was on fire. If you're talking about a perfect game as far as baseball goes, I don't care what coach says. He was pretty close to it.
Yeah, Herb Edwards, the senior, 163 yards, a touchdown. The backbone of the Jaguars' offensive game plan all night long, and no surprise here, he's our performer of the week.
When you're in that zone and when you're running for over 160, 2 scores, right? Do you kind of realize what kind of game you're having once you get those chunk yards, 8, 9, 10, 39 yards? Are you aware of what's going on while it's happening?
No, I tend not to think about it as the game go on. I let them come to me at the end of the game and tell me how many yards I have. But as I'm in the game, I'm trying to get as much as I can get for, for my team. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's all for my team, 10, 15, 20 yards here. It's for my team. That's all I know is we're getting first downs, we're moving the ball. That's all I know at the time being.
And I know you guys like to alternate quarterbacks sometimes, but Austin kind of came up a little gimpy after that first touchdown. With the quarterbacks kind of switching around, do you feel like it's on the rushing game now? We could be that constant for the team while everything else figures itself out.
Well, before the game started, we figured that it was going to be a rushing game before the game started. So it's it's a thought to get ready for the game and know that the ball was being put in your hands for trust to get the yards we need to win. So it just feels great that the coaches trust me to have, that type of impact on the game. And
a game like this, we talked about, I know you just said it, weird delay. It was lightning delay, then another one, and then the power wasn't working. Yeah. You already told us, but for those that didn't hear, how did you pass the time?
I went and took a nap on the bus, got my pillow, went and took a nap to try and preserve a little energy. I didn't want to get too high or too low. So that nap kind of put me, when I woke up, I was back in game mode. So.
Do you think it worked?
Yeah.
Physicality. Do you think it was a little more than you guys were anticipating, or was it just according to script?
I mean, J-State gave us their best game every year we played them. By this being a long-term rivalry, we expected before coming to this game that their 0-6 record is not going to reflect on the field at all because they're still a good team. Yeah. So, we feel as though we're going to get their best punch. We're going to get their best shot. We're going to probably get their hardest game of the season, but it's on us to win. We got to do it. We got to do it. It's never about the opponent. It's always about us. That's what our coach preached to us. Yeah. So we knew we was going to get their best shot today, but, we weathered the storm and we won.
Hey, Herb Edwards, 163 yards and a touchdown, and perhaps the performer of the week every week, the Human Jukebox. That never gets old. But hey, coming up here on Inside the Jaguar Nation, Brian Holland hits the film room to break down some plays from last night's game. It's always an excuse to bust out those fancy tools.
I like doing that. Use the little clicker back there in the green screen, and it's always a busy time. Of course, they're on the bluff at Southern. We'll bust out the Southern calendar and give you a rundown of all you need to know. That's right here inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
That's right. Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation with you every Sunday night right here on Fox 44. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Holland.
Yes, sir, Brian. It's football season, right?
I would hope so. Yeah, we're right in the thick of things.
Yeah, we know how it goes. It gets a lot of the attention, but those other fall sports are in the middle of it as well. So as always, every week here on Inside the Jaguar Nation, let's turn it over to Ashley Lyotis for more on the Southern sports schedule.
A lot has happened over on the Bluff this week and a lot to come this week. Let's take a look at some results. Volleyball took their skills to Montgomery, Alabama for the SWAC Roundup. On Friday, they lost to Alabama State, but they won against Alcorn State in 4. On Saturday, they lost to both Mississippi Valley State and Alabama A&M. On Friday, soccer took on Alabama A&M as well in Huntsville. Jags won 2-1. Coming up this week, the cross-country team heads to Clinton, Mississippi for the SWAC Championship on Monday. Soccer will also take on Jackson State on Friday in Jackson. We'll, of course, have more scores and results next week on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Hey, thanks, Ashley. Now it's that time again. Brian Holland entering the film room to dig a little deeper on some key Southern plays from last night's victory. Brian, what you got over there?
We got a lot to talk about this week. And we're talking about the offensive side of the ball and that trickeration that really impacted the momentum of this week's ball game, making it 21-10. But first, what Jag fans really want to know, was it a catch? The ref said it wasn't a touchdown catch by Kendall Catalon. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and roll this. And you look at it, first notice the throw. This is what makes Austin Howard so special. You can't really see it from that angle. The refs didn't see it, so we slow-moed our cameras. That's a catch. He controls it with his body, and that's why we have, of course, our Go Nation cameras right there inside the Jaguar Nation, and that's what you get right here on this show. And let's move on to special teams for a moment. You're only up 4 in the second quarter. You want to take the life out of the crowd. You don't do that by kicking a field goal. Dawson Odoms dials up the fake. You just have to make one guy miss. And Jackson State did not tackle well all game long. That really swung a lot of the momentum. It was a great special teams play. Catalon finally gets that touchdown. And what I really like, Mr. 21, look at all his momentum going forward. Herb Edwards. And then quick, sweet feet. I think that's his new nickname, Sweet Feet. I mean, he was amazing in this, over 160 rushing yards. What I really like about this, other than seeing number 21, right, we're all used to Leonard Tillery doing this, but this year it's Herb Edwards, and he is special. He falls forward on a lot of these runs. Back it up. Watch this. Contact, and then he goes 3, maybe 4 more yards. He did this constantly during the game. This has to give offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry so much confidence, and look at this. This is what spreads around the team, the hands on the hips. Jackson State is tired, and then you get more 21 with that speed, that vision, and the offensive line. They were the ones who really wore out this Jackson State team. That's what makes Herb Edwards so special. That's why we love watching him so much at Ace Mumford Stadium, and that's why he's having such a great senior season. Morgan?
He looked good on the field, and of course, what sounded good is that human jukebox last night. And every week, as it always does, they take us to break. But don't worry, more Inside the Jaguar Nation coming right up. And coming up after the break, we'll go big picture and look at the rest of the SWAC in this week's standings. But coming up, though, right away after that, we turn to Perry White and Garrett Ederson with their always unique perspective inside the Jaguar Nation. We'll be right back.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. Morgan Beard here alongside Brian Holland.
Yeah, we bring in 2 other of our members right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. Perry White, Garrett Ederson always take us behind the scenes there on the Bluff, this time to the track.
Southern University Track and Field has a lot of history and a lot of great people that performed here before, and we're just trying to build on that tradition of Southern Track and Field being a rich tradition. Having Jaguar Park is huge. It's huge for us because we actually have our own area. In the past, we used to share it with football, and we used to have to wait until football was over in order to do certain events. But now, by us having Jaguar Park, we can compete with everybody else and have that area and having the opportunity, just like everybody else, to start when we need to start as far as throwing and jumping and all that great stuff in October. Is when you go into those championship meets and when the kids are not prepared, just like the other competition that they're competing against, we just want our kids to have a fair chance just like everyone else. So we able to to put in the time as the same of the other university that we compete around us. It makes me feel better as being a coach and everything to have our kids prepared and ready to rock and roll. Well, having this area in track and field, we have new rules in which you got to have every event. So you got to have all of the field events, and you got to have a certain amount of track events. So we had to have these areas in order to have track meets. So with the addition of these areas is great for us, and we're gonna be able to have track meets in the future here at Southern University. So I'm very excited about that.
Hey, and coming up next, we're going to scout the Jaguars' next opponent, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Inside the Jaguar Nation returns right after this.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
And closing things out here inside the Jaguar Nation, those updated SWAC standings.
Yeah, let's get right to it. We're going to focus on the West, and you see the top team, Grambling State, 6-1, a big win, a blowout win over the tops in the East, Alcorn State this weekend, and Southern right there in that 2 spot at 4-3, and everything goes according to plan. It'll be another epic Bayou Classic later this year.
Yep, as for that next opponent, you got to go to Little Rock, take on UAPB. You saw 2-5, really nothing special. The offense, nothing special. The defense, awful versus the pass. You got plenty of things to exploit. The only thing they're best at, punting average.
Well, there
when
you
you're
go.
good at punting average, you're probably not a very good football team. Should be a win there for the Jags against the Golden Lions. All right, closing things out for Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee. This is Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Let's get this party started now!
Max 94.1, Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B. Turn it on. Max 94.1.
Calling on me like a young
Max 94.1, Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B. Turn it on. Max 94.1. Hashtag Max 94.1. Max 94.1.
Keep it locked, kid. Say that we back or nothing, cause that implies that we're back from something. If we're back from something, it's some checks you owe.